first take a little bit of hair. It's the first step, whether I do for any kind of bang I do. Just take just a little front section there. I always use my nose as a guide for my initial cut, and that just works for me. I'm sure it works for you too. And I just don't pull it straight down, just relax it, and just cut across. And then we'll work from there. That's the first step. Hi everyone. So I put Jameson on a wig head. It'd be easier to show you guys how I do this. But take that first little snip, and I only take about an inch section of hair at the top, not very deep at all. And I'm going to thin these out. And this is another tip on this. If you have a face flopper, this first step that I'm doing here will really prevent your wig from flopping. So it's kind of a twofer here. Anyway, this is what I'm doing. You point cut. I don't, except for that initial cut where you cut straight across, I only use point cutting. I don't like that blunt edge, and that takes care of that. Now I take little chips, about 1/4 of an inch along the edge, to shorten up the wig and to get a nice choppy end to it. If anything, and then I take some maybe about 1.5 inches or so deep vertical snips there, and that really thins out the ends so the wig lays nicer. So at this point, if you wanted to stop, if you have a face flopper, you'd be all set. You could take that, put it off to the side, and you will not have a face flopper. Anyway, I'm going to continue because we're going to cut some nice fringe into this wig. And now I'm taking really deep, deep cuts. This really thins it out and makes it wispy. So I'm liking how that's looking. You can see the ends are nice and wispy. So what I do here is I take the longer section and put it to one side, and I take a longer section and put it to the other side. And I only work in the middle, and you're only talking about maybe about 3 or 4 inches wide section of hair too. You're not talking about a lot of hair. I'm working at about a 4-inch bang right now. The bottom of the nose on this wig head is about 4 inches. So that's what I'm kind of working at right now until I try it on and see where I'm at on the length. And again, just point cutting. You know, if you go slow, you can't really goof it up. And the reason why I don't use a fitting shears anymore is I've had a couple of accidents where I've had my regular scissors and my fitting shears with me, and I've grabbed the regular scissors and made a big boo-boo. So now I pretty much just stick to regular shears here. No fitting shears for me. This is easier, and I think it gives a really professional look in the end. It's a windy day, so you can see how nice the hair is moving around. It was also very noisy. That's why I'm doing a voiceover. So there we go. That's about how thin you want the hair to be. Now I've cut her a little shorter, and I'm just showing you. This is the little snippets I take. That I kind of do this to shorten it up. And now on this wig head, I have it marked where my forehead begins, and then you can see above where the eyebrows are, I have a pen mark there too. That's about how the longest, or the shortest I should say, my bangs can be. So I'm kind of using it as a little bit of a guide so I don't go shorter than that. So I keep checking. And of course, you know, I'm doing this on the wig head. I normally cut my bangs on my head, but it's kind of harder to show you that, so that's why I'm doing it on the wig head. Again, just take your time. If anything you take away from this is take your time, do a little cut little bits at a time, not too much at once. And you keep trying it on. Every time you do a little bit of cutting, I try it on. See where it's at, play with it, brush it to the side and see if I like the length of the bangs. I don't want to go any shorter than this because I'm going to use my plastic hot air brush to give a little oomph to those bangs. So here I'm on the side now. I'm going to connect the middle section of the bangs to the ends. And I just kind of point cut and I just start a little higher and just work my way down to blend in the longer side piece and the rest of the bangs. Again, just keep point cutting and you can't go wrong. So that looks pretty good. Now I'll go to the other side, I'll do the same thing. All right, here's a better view for you. I use the bangs that I like the length of as a guide. And I start up the top and I'll angle the snips just down a little bit so it kind of blends in. Fitting that out. That looks pretty good. Okay, now I've tried it on and I used a hot air brush to give some little oomph and roundness to the bangs. I also brought some more hair down, add a little more fullness to the fringe. So yeah, I'm using my bangs that I like the length on already as a guide, and see I'm angling my fingers there, so as I snip down, it gets a little longer. Now, you gotta be careful when you use your scissors not to cut your fingers. And the way you do that, every time you take a cut, you kind of pull back so you don't cut yourself. I'm just thinning that little section that seems a little thicker so it blends in nicer. Hides all your mistakes too. If you do this, if it's not just perfect, it'll still look nice. Okay, so that's looking okay. Now I'm going to take this little longer piece and blend it in. Again, thin out a little bit there, and then, yeah, just work your way down. A little choppy there, but when you thin it out, you'll see how much nicer it looks. See? There you go. That looks nice. And see, now if you push your bangs to the side, it'll blend into the body of your hair and it will look really professional. Let's take the clip out and see how it looks, how it blends into the sides. There we go, looks pretty good. Okay, on the other side, I have a little more hair too, so I'm going to thin this out a little bit more too. You see how I'm point cutting all the time. That looks better. There we go. Now I'm pretty happy with this. I might do a little bit more here and there, but pretty much this will be it. If you want a heavier bang, you just bring some more of the hair down. And since you already have the length of the bang, you can use that as your guide. Now, see that longer piece? You don't want to pull that tight because when you cut that, it'll be way too short. Just let it hang naturally and point cut up into it, way lower than you think, and see where it falls, see how much it springs up before you cut any more. You always can cut more here. So that's pretty much it. Main thing to take away is every time you do a little snip, try it back on your head and see where you're at. Point cut, and you'll be good to go. Any questions? Feel free to ask me. Thank you for watching.